Ooh, what's going on, boys? GZTV here, back with another video. Hold on, let me scoot over. And today we have another review video from albums from the Weeknd. This is the second album in the trilogy. We got Thursday. I'm going to explain the album, tell you what I think of it. Let's get into it. Released on August 18, 2011, Thursday was a second tape of the Weeknd's trilogy. It features one of the only two guests on the entire trilogy, Drake on the Zone, which I really like that song. It features more of the hazy drug and sex-fused R&B that filled the Weeknd's debut House of Balloons. Tracks like Gone and Life of the Party highlight his purely hedonistic yet fairly tragic lifestyle. Producer Elangelo returns for most of the tracks and expands and finds new sounds from those on House of Balloons. On August 18, 2021, the 10th anniversary of the mixtape's release was finally distributed to streaming services. We gotta keep in mind that he released these three mixtapes from the trilogy all in 1 year, so, like, some of them aren't as good as the others, but we'll get into it. First track is Lonely Star. The opening track on the Weeknd's Thursday introduced the two main characters of the story. The Weeknd and the Thursday girl are Abel's Lonely Star. The Lonely Star is a girl Abel only sees on Thursday. While she'll be his star, he describes in verse 1 that pain and regret are Thursday girl's best friends. He goes on to describe that although they are her best friends, he could be her best friend. Even though she can be his star, she will still be lonely because even though Abel is with her physically, he won't be there to actually love her. In the hook, he explains that life could be luxurious and special if she is with Abel, although in the interlude, Thursday Girl describes that if all Abel can promise her is no regret, then she will continue to only be present on Thursday, and that is the only time she will be available to Abel. Moving on to Life of the Party. The Weeknd disguises bad intention with love and temptation. He's persuading a rich girl who loves cocaine into entering his world. Meanwhile, the girl from Lonely Star thinks about Abel at home, waiting for Thursday to come. The song is loosely based on Drugs in My Body by Thieves Like Us. Next song is Thursday, the title track. Let's see here, can this work? The title of the track from Thursday provides insight into the meaning of the title, showing that Abel's feelings or actions drastically change towards this girl from day to day. On other days of the week, he doesn't mess with this girl at all, but on Thursday, they hook up after rolling, getting high, and drinking. She seems to be the girl that he cheats on because she is ignorant of Abel's activities throughout the week, but she desperately wants to be his lonely star, which is not going to happen in the Weeknd's case if you know him well enough. He's a very toxic guy. He's going to go from girl to girl. Next song is called The Zone. Before Abel can get involved with this girl who isn't his lonely star, he has to get in this zone by leaning and smoking up. This is the first collaboration between The Weeknd and Drake on one of Abel's projects. Around the same time, Abel worked with Drake on Take Care, which included giving him several tracks from House of Balloons. The underlying simple beat heard throughout the song mimics the love-dub sound of a heartbeat. The music video features a shorter version of this song, with the order of the verses being different than the original version. So The Weeknd is a big key in Drake's career, really. Like, that's another guy that's really helped Drake besides Lil Wayne, you know. Next is The Birds Part 1. In this track, I really like this sequel of tracks in this album. In this track, The Weeknd warns his girl to not fall in love with him or he will just leave her. However, she can't seem to help herself, and Abel does not want to be the one held responsible. Of course he doesn't. This song is preceded by an unreleased interlude detailing a conversation between Abel and his girl. I mean, The Weeknd's very confessional. He admits to doing a lot of fucked up shit on his projects, which is kind of crazy. But anyways, moving on to The Birds Part 2. After The Weeknd proclaims that the Thursday girl foolishly fell in love with a bird, one of the darkest, most eerie songs in Abel's discography emerges. This is a very, very dark song. The gunshots in the beginning, a gun being loaded and fired, crying, and the calling of crows are all heard during this song. The Thursday girl appears to shoot something in response to Abel's proclamation, which who wouldn't want to shoot The Weeknd if they figured out what he's done to them girls, man? He is very manipulative. Let's see here. What she targets is left in ambiguity, although it seems to be The Weeknd himself. This song samples Martina Topleybird's song Sandpaper Kisses, a song from the soundtrack of the video game Fahrenheit, which I've heard of, but I have not played that game. Moving on to Gone, this is a very lengthy track. I think one of the lengthiest tracks in the trilogy. Maybe there's a longer track on Echo of Silence, but yeah. Gone provides arguably the deepest and rawest insight into a night of Abel's in his discography, as the listener gets to feel Abel's submission to drugs and alcohol, both lyrically and sonically. And I mean, the reason it's so long is because it really gives you, like, a full-on insight of what's going on. But anyways, let's move on to Rolling Stone. A Rolling Stone refers to smoking weed while rolling on ecstasy. The title alludes to Bob Dylan's Like a Rolling Stone. legend, where the phrase means a man who never settles down, but rather restlessly moves through the world. While this song essentially serenades the lonely star, it also covers a large metaphor. Instead of settling on the sound and success Abel's found early in his career, he acknowledges that he wants to grow as an artist and hopes his fans will follow him through his journey. He details this in an open letter to fans he released in 2012. Definitely some new sounds explored on this project. The trilogy cover was derived from the music video for this song. The guitar melody for this track was influenced by Andre Nicotina's Ayo for Yayo, which is cocaine, if you guys didn't know. Um, Heaven or Las Vegas is the final track on the original. To close the Thursday narrative, which Valerie doesn't add to the narrative, it kind of does. Yeah, I guess it does. To close the Thursday narrative, The Weeknd cites a lack of a father figure as the reason behind the events that he documents on this tape. Excuses. In contrasting Heaven and the hellish vice-filled Sin City, this song explores the hedonism that has become a trademark in The Weeknd's songs. Some inspirations for this song may be derived from the Cocteau Twins, who have an album called Heaven or Las Vegas. Abel used a Cocteau Twins sample on The Knowing, which is also track 9 on House of Balloons, which is very interesting, kind of that connection. When Trilogy was released, Valerie was added to the track list and was thereby the new final track on Thursday. So let's look up the Trilogy version. I'll explain what Valerie is about. Jesus. Sorry. We have the Trilogy version. Sorry, boys. Yes, we do have the Trilogy version. And the final track is Valerie, who is the girl throughout this album. And in this edition of the Thursday narrative, Abel sings about a girl, likely the lonely star, that he truly loves yet is cheating on. This is the only song on Thursday, if not in the entire trilogy, that seems to omit any significant reference to drugs, alcohol, or indulging in sex, meaning it doesn't really talk about those things, which is crazy for early Weeknd and not talk about those things. Thus, the audience may be safe in deriving the inference that this character singing or the state Abel is in on the song is different. He also personalizes his track by calling Valerie out by name. Maybe that's an actual girl he hooked up with back in the day. While Valerie is aware that he is cheating, The Weeknd concludes that she will stay because she doesn't want to be alone. That's crazy. Ending this portion of the story with the upper hand, Abel stages a pivotal position into the next project. So yeah, that's the album. I enjoyed it. I think House of Balloons is definitely a better record. Actually, I have class here in 55 minutes, so I'm going to have to bust out some coding homework after this. My goodness. This shit is horrible. But you know what? We're going to get through the semester, and we're going to be making some YouTube videos for you guys. So leave a like, comment, subscribe. I'm not done yet. I still got to talk about this album some more. I don't have to. I want to. I want to talk about this album some more because I think it's really interesting. The story I like better than the House of Balloons, but I definitely sonically like the House of Balloons. The experiments with the new sound isn't necessarily like unsuccessful or anything. I'm not saying that. I think Angelo does a great job, but I think the sounds in House of Balloons, like the OG Weeknd sound, is just absolutely phenomenal, and the Noise EP sounds are phenomenal. I've actually heard a couple of Noise EP tracks, and if you guys want me to do a review on that full album, because I've heard a couple songs, but not the entire album, but if you want me to review the whole album, I surely will over here. I'm down to review any album. I really only do album reviews at home, but when I'm at home, I got a list of albums I want to do. Tomorrow we're doing Echoes of Silence to complete the trilogy. Then this Friday we're doing Imperial by Denzel Brown. Now we have to find an album to do on Sunday. I'm thinking either Testing by A$AP Rocky, or Oxymoron by Schoolboy Q, or even continuing the Weeknd theme and doing Kissland. I have not heard Kissland before. That's not a part of the trilogy, although some people kind of consider it as like, and like story-wise it doesn't match up, but like sonically it's definitely an error. It definitely belongs in that trilogy era of the Weeknd, I would say. Off of the few tracks I've heard of, I haven't heard of the entire piece, of course, but yeah. School has been decently well this semester, you know. I'm just kind of grinding. And of course, expect at around 1 o'clock. If it's later, then it's later. But at around 1 o'clock, maybe a little later, maybe like 1:30, I'll give you guys a Madden video. And that's going to be the videos of the day. We don't have 2 review videos today, sadly. That's because I didn't watch any movies or anything yesterday. But anyways, leave a like, comment, subscribe. As always, it has been GZTV. Hopefully you enjoyed my in-depth review. Hopefully you've enjoyed the music. Hopefully you enjoyed the trilogy. I mean, most of you guys probably have listened to it if you're here. I mean, you're Weeknd fans. Of course you've listened to it. I'm just kind of late to the party, and I kind of got to refresh myself on some of the Weeknd's early music. I pretty much know his stuff for sure from Beauty Behind the Madness on, so about 7 years of The Weeknd's career, but not the remaining 4. So yeah, I'm out. Have a good rest of your day.